Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another unboxing, and today we are doing the AEW Series 4 Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy figures. I recently covered these in my weekly purchases video, and we're going to crack these open and check these bad boys out. I'm pumped to do these because Sammy, obviously, I'm a huge fan of Sammy's. I think he's going to be a very, very big star in the future. Got a lot of potential. I do not foresee this figure being necessarily valuable per se, but I do think it's a very cool figure, so that's why I actually don't mind opening it so much. I have a lot of my AEW stuff carded, but from this set, I think this may be the set I finally stop keeping everything carded and start being a little more generous with the ones that I decide to open. And then, of course, Matt Hardy's a no-brainer. Don't really have too many Matt Hardys in my collection, especially not the broken, woken Matt version. So it'll be nice to add him to the collection. He'll go nicely right next to my Mower of Lawns Matt Hardy Basic. I know you're thinking, why do you have a Basic on display? Well, honestly, I dig the fact that he's got the shirt on. The shirt's cool. So it's there. You know, everybody collects things in their own weird way, and that's how I'm going to do mine. So let's go ahead and get started on these. We'll go ahead and start with Sammy first, because I'm a little curious on this one. So with the Sammy, there was an issue with the packaging when it was released, where the cue cards that came with him, I think you can call them cue cards, caption cards, let's just call them cards. Yeah, let's call them cards. Where the cards that come with him all said the same thing, hit me up. Instead of it having, because there's supposed to be, I believe, 5 or 6 different cards, and each one's supposed to say something different, obviously. So you can kind of reenact him doing, you know, his typical picture-in-picture commercial break stuff. So, before I completely open them up, so there's the front of the package. You got Sammy right there. I think in package, this figure does look great. I love that you can see the sign in the background. I do think that these figures have gotten substantially better every set that they go forward. Series 1, you know, obviously there's a lot of flaws and missteps with it, but you know what? It's the first set, and those things happen. So, if anything, the Series 1 actually has kind of a special place for me, because, I mean, even though they have issues, those first figures, there was something just really cool about those, and you knew something special was happening when those got released. So, let's go ahead and look at the box real quick. Sammy Guevara, gold letter right there. Little logo there with the figure number, which is 30 on the side, a little mug shot of him. Then on the back, got a picture of him right there, giving the old Spanish fly to Cody on Dynamite. And of course, you got a picture of the rest of the set, which is going to be Kenny, Cody, Sammy, Matt Hardy, Santana, and Ortiz. All of those are pretty cool figures. I think out of all the ones that have been put out so far, they're some of the nicer ones. So yeah, I plan on getting all of them eventually. Like I said, I've got Cody and Kenny. Currently, mine are on card, and they're probably going to stay that way because my son does have loose ones. So, let's go ahead and get Sammy broken out of prison here. I should remember the name of the penitentiary he had on his little jumpsuit for, you know, blood and guts, but who knows. Alright, so there he is in package. He's not really strapped down, so that's kind of nice, but he's in there very snugly. Shake him, no big deal. So let's go ahead and pop him out. And of course, he's got that really awesome rubber goods jacket that is made of that same rubber goods material that they used for the Darby Allin. And it's very, very nice material, actually. It's very flexible. A lot more posability than some of the other rubber goods stuff, like the jacket for the Series 1 Jericho and Kenny. There was not a lot of flexibility with those. So they kind of made playing with those figures a little hard to do, or posing them anyways. So, Sammy's on the package. Of course, they've got the plastic wrap on the figure to protect it from, you know, bleed over from the plastic, or the rubber rather. So that's real nice. I do appreciate them doing that little touch, especially after what we normally call Rudegate, which is where the Rick Rude figure that had the robe on it, he had a lot of staining on the skin from that robe being on. So I think Jazzwares took note of that being such a big deal, and they decided to be very proactive about it, and started putting little plastic barriers between the actual figure and the rubber goods. That way they can prevent any staining if there's a possibility of it. So that's pretty cool of them, and I certainly do appreciate that little fact. So, alright, let's get that done. Let's get this torso wrap off. It's almost like Sammy's trying to wrap up his torso and, you know, shed a little more stomach fat, even though dude's, you know, skinny as a rail as it is. Maybe I need to do that. Who knows? Just kidding, guys. Alright, so plastic wrap is off Sammy. Let's go ahead and get these hands back on him. I'm going to put him back in my display once we're done with this video. And I'm going to put the jacket back on him. Like, honestly, I think he looks great in the jacket. So that's going to be a mainstay. However, I definitely wanted to get that plastic off there because that stuff kind of drives me crazy. Alright. So, let's go ahead and look at him real quick. Face scan's great. I love that he's doing the little stick out tongue maneuver. It's really cool. The hair looks awesome. I love the hairdo. Looks great. Tights, you know, pretty nice deco. Paint job on him. Very clean paint at that. Don't see a lot of bleed over or anything of that nature. Of course, these AEW figures, lots of posability with them. I mean, Jazzwares really does a great job with the AEW figures in terms of how you can pose them and all the different options for that, especially if you're doing like figure photography or anything of that nature. They are tremendous for that. The Series 1 Kenny, I've had tons of fun playing with that figure and, you know, doing, you know, action shots and fig photography with him just because the posability options are just so many. Plastic there. Okay. Let's go ahead and see how these glasses fit. That's kind of a big deal for me. Sunglasses or glasses of any kind come with a figure. I like for them to at least fit on and be somewhat firm. So there's the glasses on them. It seems okay. They aren't, I mean, they're rubber, almost like the same material that the jacket's made out of. So they do flex a lot. Which, I mean, I don't mind. I'm not terribly annoyed by that. However, because of that, they aren't tight. If that, as a person wears glasses, one of the things that helps them stay on is the frame being pulled inward more than out. So that way it kind of gives more of a firm hold against the size of the head. So if they were more of a hard plastic, they'd probably fit the size of the head a little better. But you know what? That's still not bad. If you can turn it upside down and the glasses don't fall off, then that's pretty good. So, you know, I'll take that. I'll take that. I think it looks really good with the glasses on. So, yeah. Not too shabby. That's a very cool figure. I like that. Now, let's go ahead and check out the cue cards and see what we got. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the feet on this bad boy so it'll stand a little better, but I'm not... There we go. Not having the best of luck with that. There we go. Stands right up. Alright, let's see what cards we got. Hit me up. Hit me up. Boo! Hit me up. Come on, guys. We got the first run figure. Well, I was hoping to have the other cards with it. Maybe Jazzwares will do something where you can send them in the extra cards and they'll send you replacements, or you can just request replacements and they'll send it to you. I mean, I don't think it would cost them a fortune to correct the problem. Then again, I don't know the, you know, mathematics or financials of that kind of thing. So that's a little disappointing. Maybe I'll just take them, flip them around, use a Sharpie, and I'll write my own. And there's an idea for you guys. If you get the same one I did, just flip them around. I mean, it looks like a normal black Sharpie. So, I mean, I would just take it. I would write your own things on there and do that. If anything, that's kind of a nice option, being able to just write your own. So maybe try that. That could be a very solid possibility for you. So I'm going to go ahead and keep his jacket off of him right now. I'm not going to waste any more time on the video trying to re-jacket him. I'll handle that later in my own time and not waste your valuable time that you're taking out of your day to watch this, which again, thank you for that. All right, Matt Hardy. Yes! Love the broken, woken Matt Hardy. I know he's a very polarizing character, but whether you agree with the concept of the character and its presentation in wrestling, you can't deny there's a lot of creativity behind it, and Matt Hardy, obviously a legend in the business, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Him and Jeff are honestly one of the main reasons that I'm such a fan of the product. So, look at the package. I already took them out, so that's my fault. But Matt Hardy, great shot there on the front. Of course, figure number 31 in the Unrivaled Series 4 line. And then on the back here, got a shot of him in the balcony from Dynamite, which I believe that was from his debut. And then, of course, the rest of the figures in the line right there. But otherwise, normal AEW Unrivaled packaging, which I love this black and gold color. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it definitely reminds me of the classic Superstars figures that Jax did. And I love the packaging on those figures. So, if anything is close to that, I'm all for it. They look great on display. So, absolutely no issues for me on that regard. Sorry, I had to take a second to make sure Sammy didn't have extra hands with him, which he doesn't, so we're clear there. All right, Matt Hardy's got several hands with him. Let's look at him real quick. Matt Hardy in his plastic prison. 4 different hands right there, so that's really cool. I like that they give a lot of options for Matt and his hands, which, I mean, Matt is a very hand gesture and facial gesture heavy character, so it is very nice that they at least give you extra hands that you can use for different situations. Maybe find a toy ice machine to put them in or something. All right, he's out of the package. So let's go ahead and get these accessories out, which is going to be the hologram head. Oop, and Sammy took the dive. Glasses did not stay on when he fell over. Shame on me. My bad, guys. All right, holograms out. See if we can get Vanguard 1 out without breaking them. Vanguard is actually strapped in with one of those little rubber plastic tie-downs. So I'm okay with that. However, I don't know if I can quite get it off. It's very tight quarters on the plastic backing. And when you got giant hands like these, sometimes it's hard to get into those little teeny tiny spots when you got your giant sausage fingers. So, hashtag sausage fingers. All right. Slide his accessories to the front. Matt Hardy in his robe, which I love Matt's jackets. I think they're tremendous. I just love the detail. I love the straps and all the deco. And on this one, it looks very clean. Black and red looks really great with the hair. I'm all for it. Oh, and there goes Sammy again. We'll just lay Sammy down. Lay that old body down. All right, the jacket, it pops open. It's got little studs right here. So that's very cool. Let's go ahead and get the jacket off so we can look at the rest of his ring attire. All right, tons of plastic. Look at that. Plastic City, baby. Woo, man, I don't know why you need it on the legs when the material in the jacket matches the pants. But you know what? I'm also not going to question it. If anything, I applaud Jazzwares for being proactive and trying to prevent any possible issues. However, I found one. That kind of sucks, but we'll discuss it here in a second. So, we'll get Matt's little plastic sleeves off here. All right, so here's the figure out of the jacket. Great. Got the delete hand right here. Just put it up and just delete, delete, delete. That's cool. I like that. I do love the face scan on this Matt. I think it looks great. Perfectly fits this particular version of Matt Hardy. So I really like that. The wristbands, or I guess forearm covers, are painted on. They're not rubber. But that's okay. The paint's good and clean on it. So I don't mind that whatsoever. I do like his little... It's almost like, I would think of it like a Thanos hand. Like, he's going to, pull out the gauntlet or something. Maybe I'll take the time to repaint one of his hands and make it look like Infinity Gauntlet and make it Infinity Gauntlet, Crazy Broken Matt Hardy, or Woken, or whatever. So, yeah, the paint deco on the pants matches the jacket very well. The black is slightly brighter than it is on the jacket. But I think a lot of that is because the jacket is that flexible rubber material, and it's actually not quite as flexible as the Sammy jacket is. The Sammy jacket is super flexible, almost no pressure needed to move it, while this thing is a little stiffer, a little tighter, and actually feels more like that material they used for the Series 1 jackets for Kenny and Jericho. So, first glance, the figure looks great. Deco's great. The detail on the pants for the zippers, on the pockets, I think looks great. Typical Matt Hardy fashion. I definitely love that old style cargo pant Matt Hardy look. Now, upon closer inspection, I'm seeing a few things that are a little bit of a bummer for me on this. So, first, on the back of the pants here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it looks like there's some warping, or I don't know, maybe some melting of the paint or the plastic right there on the back of the thighs. That's a little weird. Look almost like little grainy spots, if you can see those. So that's a little weird. And then also on his back, he's got this gigantic chip, which I'm not a fan of. I mean, you know, I'm not going to call Jazzwares and go, you need to replace my figure because of this. It's going to go on my display, use it for figure photography. Not to mention, if the jacket's on them, you can't see that anyways. However, it is a slight bummer that it does have those slight defects. You know me, I'm a big proponent of things being great straight out of the package without having too many molding or paint flaws. So that is a little bit of a downside. I'm not a gigantic fan of that. But you know, I've seen worse, so we will just, you know, call it what it is. It just happens. A little bit of a bummer, but still, we'll go with it. Now, let's go ahead and look at Vanguard 1. Very cool. The drone is actually made of a hard rubber rather than the plastic, which I like, because it's less likely to break. Thank you for that. And then there's the Matt Hardy hologram right there, little projection. And this bad boy actually has little divots in the tip here, so it'll lock in to the drone. At least I'm hoping it does. And yeah, so there we go. Drone broadcasting, Matt talking. That's very cool. I do really like that. I think that's going to look awesome when you actually put it on your display loose. So now let's go ahead and do the real test, which is going to be to see if we can swap these heads out. Oh, came off real easy. Can't complain there. All right. Whoa. Well, so in the process of trying to pull the head off, I completely removed the torso. Don't be alarmed if you get any of the AEW Unrivaled figures. That does happen with some of them. Sometimes the joint where the torso is might be looser than others. My son, his Kenny Omega detaches pretty easy, and so does his Riho. So that happens. Don't freak out. It's normal. That style of figure, it kind of happens, but luckily it's not like it's broken. It just pops right back in. So Matt's head off. Let's go ahead and see if we can get it back on the projection body to make it even creepier for everybody. Look at that. There we go. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. Actually, I may just keep that on display like that. Stands well, too. Put the drone right there. Maybe if you balance out where the body's positioned. There we go. Stands pretty good like that. So, there's that. Let's get this translucent head on the body, see if it'll fit, see if it'll hold up. Maybe pretend that Matt is like from a different universe and he got decapitated, or I don't know. Make your own scenario, I guess. And yeah, if it fits on, I mean, it's loose because the joint isn't quite as thick as it is for the other head. But, I mean, it does fit. So if you really want to just give your figure kind of a weird, crazy variant vibe, this is a solid way to do it. Throw the jacket on, put that clear head on, and boom. And then, exorcist, pea soup. Sorry, guys. So, okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it there, and I'll do the rest of the unpacking and correcting of their gear once I'm done with this video. So, there we have it. AEW Unrivaled Series 4 Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, which is kind of ironic considering the forever feud that these two had, that it happens to be the two guys that I managed to find out in the wild together. So, the guys, that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow me over at the Instagram at CollectingRaj, and by all means, again, thanks for the support. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And just keep looking forward to more content such as unboxing, weekly purchases, as well as retro toy reviews. That's going to do it for today. Have yourselves a great day.